welcome back to my YouTube channel, Jade _ yours truly. And today's video will be another Navy video. It'll be about my MAA school experience. So if that is something you're interested in, then stay tuned. Okay, so in today's video, I did write down a list of notes. That way I don't forget anything. So if I'm looking down, that is why. So let's jump right into it. So immediately after you graduate Navy boot camp, you are going to go to whatever rate you have. So for me, I was an MA, and that school is held in San Antonio, Texas. So the following morning, we woke up, and those sailors that were going to be attending MAA school had to take their belongings, their special folder that would then be transferred to MAA school with your boot camp records, and we boarded a flight there. Everything was very simple. Just stay with your group. There will be like an RPOC of your group while you're there, just to kind of keep everyone together. And then once you arrive in the terminal of the airport, you're gonna be in like your Navy boot camp mode, and so everything is just petty officer, aye, petty officer. But I'm gonna tell you right now, just calm down, take a deep breath, because once you get to, at least at MAA school, it'll be just a little bit more relaxed. This is more job specific. So they've already groomed and tailored you to become a sailor. Now MAA school is going to tailor you to be a master at arms. So obviously still keep your military bearing and all of that, but it is a little more relaxed than boot camp. So take a deep breath. So once everyone gets all of their luggage from the terminals, you are then going to get on the duty van, and you're going to go to the base. It is a joint base, meaning Air Force personnel and Navy personnel, and I think Army, do not quote me on that, but I think Army, that we all share that base. So it is a joint base, and it's very nice. It's very big. When you do have your free time and you do eventually get liberty, weeks later, definitely take that time and explore the base if it's within regulations and guidelines. So after the duty van arrives to the MAA school where we're going to be living at and training for the next 8 or 9 weeks, you are going to put all of your belongings outside, weather permitting, and whatever time it is, and then you are going to go inside of the quarterdeck. From there, you are going to sign paperwork. You are going to turn over your folder that you left boot camp with. You are going to sign off on your room. You do not get to pick your roommates, and you will get your room key. And you'll also get like temporary like bed sheets and like pillowcases and that sort of stuff. And then from there, you will go up to your room and put your belongings in your room. Now, by the time we arrived, I want to say it was like around 2200, 2300. So, I mean, everyone was kind of already lights out. Like the base was very quiet. So I had a roommate, and she was up and she was very nice. I loved my roommate. I had the best roommate ever. But yeah, you're just going to go in there, get your stuff settled in, and also, when you're down in the quarterdeck, they're going to give you like your instructions as to what to expect for the following day, depending on what day you arrive. So just make sure you listen up in that brief and make sure you're not late the next morning. Okay, so the next morning for us, we were told to muster, I want to say it was like around 0700, 0730 in our type 3 uniforms. And it's just so nice to like wear your type 3s and, just be like, you feel like a real like sailor. You're no longer a recruit, so it just feels so good. And then you're wearing like your actual like nice, your official hat and all that, or your official cap, your cover, and you just feel so official. And you're gonna muster all the new MAs. You're gonna be in your own class. So usually they assign like the fleet returnees to be like the class leaders or like section leader type thing. So they'll be the ones kind of in charge, but then also someone from your class that just came from boot camp will get assigned some type of leadership role as like RPOC and that sort of thing. And then of course MAs, there needs to be an MA of the group too. So you'll have section leader, RPOC, and MA. I believe those are the only three leadership roles in MAA school. So every day when you go to class, you are going to march to class every day. You're going to have your book bags, and then in addition to that, you're going to have your camel packs, which will be filled with water every day so that you can hydrate, because San Antonio is extremely hot. And when I went to MAA school, it was in the middle of July, and I graduated in September. So it was very, very hot. So make sure your camel packs are always full and you're always hydrated. The first week of MAA school will be NMT, which is the new members training. You'll basically get everything squared away as far as paperwork. You're also going to get pretty much like a classroom style syllabus, if you will, and a schedule as to what to expect. Everything is broken up into blocks. I want to say it's blocks 1 through 6. You'll also get issued 2 very thick red textbooks that will be your holy grail. Always study them. You can never know too much. Like, just always study them. So you'll also get issued your holster. You'll get a I think it was like a JQR packet, which is also important. The day you get that, I will go ahead and just start, reading up on whatever needs to be done and getting signatures, because the sooner you get that packet filled out, it just looks better for you anyway, and it eventually has to get done before you graduate. But then you get Liberty sooner as well, so make sure you get that packet filled out. And then finally, you'll get like this small little white index, like business card style. It'll be for your Liberty. That'll be your Liberty pass for the remainder of MAA school. So as far as the blocks are broken down into, and this is in no particular order. There's a weapons block where you learn how to shoot the M9, the shotgun, and the rifle. If you didn't already qualify in boot camp, this is your chance to get qualified. In A school, you have to get qualified in order to maintain the rate. So, and at this point, you have the option to, there were people that went to boot camp that didn't pass and then went to MAA school and ended up being like sharpshooter experts. So, you never know. The range is full of qualified personnel that are there to help you and answer any questions you have and work on your technique. And as long as you follow the instructors of the range safety officer, you're in good hands. Just follow instructions and don't goof off and play around. You'll be good to go. And also with the weapons block, you will be learning how to shoot your weapon from the standing position, the prone position, and the kneeling position as well for all 3 weapons. There's also a legal block, aka Death by PowerPoint. It is very long, it is very dry, and it's very boring, but it's very important. And I'm not just saying that, it's very important. Every block that you get tested on. So every block is very important, but that is the driest block. So definitely pay attention, have some snacks. If snacks are permitted, get some energy drinks to stay up, because you don't want to miss what they're telling you. You don't want to fail any tests. So then another block is the crimes and crisis block, and that one was really fun. You learn how to clear rooms and do searches and de-escalate and that sort of thing, and that was a really fun hands-on. It was a really interesting block to learn. Then you have your non-lethal block, where you have the infamous OC spray. We'll talk about that in a minute. You also go through like mock moves, and you'll fight the red man, and it's a whole course, an obstacle course, if you will, with that as well, which is really fun. Again, another hands-on experience that's like none other. And then towards like the end of MAA school, you'll have like a battle stations version of MAA school where you'll get like a combination of like all the blocks. So that was like a lot of fun. So in reference to the test, you get test weekly, and you get 3 chances to take the test. I want to say, obviously you don't want to use all 3 chances, but just know, like, whenever we learn something new every week, and it's basically like you learn something we do it, we perform the action, we get tested on it. So definitely pay attention. If you have questions when you're in class, that is the perfect opportunity to ask those questions, because your shipmate next to you probably has the same question. If something isn't clear, the instructors all did an excellent job of clarifying everything. No question is a silly question, because this is everyone's first time learning this material, especially being fresh out of boot camp. So just ask whatever questions you need to, because the tests are easy to comprehend, easy to pass, but if you don't study, they're also easy to fail. And I actually did fail one of my tests, and when you take the retest, it is going to be a completely different version, same material, but a completely different version of the test. So you really do have to know and understand the material. So again, if you have questions, definitely ask. All of our classes are held at Carter Hall, which is on the base, and it's right by where our dorms are. And as far as transportation, if you live in the San Antonio, Texas area, I know there were a couple of people that had their cars there. I don't know if you needed like a special chip for that, because I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia, so I definitely wasn't bringing my vehicle there. But the shuttle was your number one option as far as transportation to get around the base, whether it was to the commissary or to the gym, to the pool, to, wherever you needed to go. The shuttle was your number one transportation mode. Now, with that, I would definitely say, make sure you're following the schedule with the shuttle, because it comes on a different time. It starts running at a certain time and it stops running at a certain time, just like any other bus would. So just be mindful of that, and don't let, the shuttle was running late, be an excuse for being late to muster or anything like that, because it's not going to fly. So just a little heads up on that. Also, renting a car, I know specifically like for the weekends, was always an option. However, you did need to go into your Navy e-learning and take the driving for life course. So I would just clarify and make sure that's still the regulation policy as far as that is concerned. And then, of course, on weekends as well, if you do have liberty and guidelines, everything is approved and everything is squared away, obviously, Uber and Lyft would be an option if that's what you choose. Okay, so now moving on to CHOW. Again, in my opinion, like I said in boot camp, and I'm a picky eater, so I'm not just saying this, the food in boot camp was decent to me, and to me, the food in A school was even better. Again, we were at a joint base, and y'all know the Air Force eats the best. They're the bougiest. So the food was great to me. They always had different options. The hot plated meals were really good. The breakfast meals, the grab and go, things for breakfast were great. You don't have to pay every time you enter into the dining facility, which was, again, everything's in walking distance. From the dining facility to the dorms, and then there's Carter Hall. So everything is in walking distance on the base, so you don't have to worry about taking a shuttle to like those three main things. But when you enter in the dining facility, after you finish going through the line and you make your way to the checkout, you're just gonna scan your card and your ID, military cat card. So after about a week of being at MAA school, our class officially got assigned like a class. I told you we already got our leadership roles assigned, those three individuals. And then we got like our class number. We are official, like our class number. And then we began standing watch. Now the watches in A school, I want to say they were in 2-hour increments, might have been 4. I don't recall. I think it was either 2 or 4 hour increments. And when your class is on watch, there are different roles that can be assigned. So of course you have the rovers, which is the same in boot camp. Only difference is you will rove like the area for MAA school only. You're not gonna rove the entire base, but you're gonna rove like the MAA school area. So that'll include the female and male dorms. That'll include like the laundry area, over by Carter Hall, and everything that you have to roll will be included. It's like on the back of your JQR, I want to say, there was like a little map that gives you like where to go so that you don't get lost. So you know exactly where to rove. Another watch assignment duty would be the duty driver. My whole time I was in MAA school, I was never assigned duty driver. But so that's a second role you'll get. Another role is morning and evening colors. I usually got to do morning and evening colors. That was my preference. So it's 3 individuals doing morning colors, 3 individuals doing evening colors. And I'm pretty sure those were all the roles that were assigned when you're on duty. But when your class is on duty, even if you don't have a watch specifically, you still you still can't leave base. You're still expected to, you know, maintain like being on call, basically, if you will. So you have to stay close by and just basically stay in your room. I would just recommend to study. Again, like you just want to, just as soon as you wanted to graduate boot camp, you want to graduate A school just as soon, because they have their own version of being ASVAB in A school. And I mean, you just don't want to stay there any longer. Like as a reservist, I knew I was going back home and I was just so ready to go back home. But if you're active duty, that's even more motivation to get out there and get to the fleet. Because I know a lot of individuals that had awesome orders, whether it was to Bahrain. I know that's where like a lot of MAs go. A couple people went to Italy. A couple people had some stateside orders. So I mean, just finish in the designated time allotted. Don't extend your stay at MAA school. So there are different phases of MAA school, and again, the sooner you finish your packet, that'll allow you to be in a different phase, and you get the card that I told you about, you get that stamped every time you get into a different phase, and that'll just let you know what you can and cannot do, whether it's wear like civilian clothes off base, or you'll always, whenever you leave base, you'll want to have like a Liberty buddy, whether that's another shipmate or whether that's family coming in and, you know, signing you out on and off base or something like that. But you always want to make sure you have someone with you. And then there's like overnight chits and stuff like that you can put in. Of course, that also comes with good behavior. You also probably have to be in good academic standing and that sort of thing. So just be mindful of that as well. So also in MAA school, you will have room inspections. They are random, and I do mean random. You will not know. Sometimes there were several times I didn't even know my room was inspected, because my roommate and I kept our room like very squared away, so we wouldn't even know that they were in there. But if you did fail, you would definitely get a notice. And those room inspections can hinder you from, you know, certain things as far as liberty is concerned as well. So they do give you a checkoff sheet as to what is expected when they come in your room. As far as, you don't have to like make your bed the same way that you did in boot camp or anything like that, or fold your clothes the same way. But you do need to have like the trash needs to be you know, thrown away every day before you leave. There shouldn't be anything in the trash can. You know, the refrigerator, that type of stuff has to be clean. The fan has to be dusted. The floors have to be swept and that sort of thing. Again, they'll give you like a whole sheet of what's expected as far as that's concerned. So as far as the rooms go in MAA school, at least for the female dorms are concerned, the layout, to my understanding, is pretty much the same. You have your 2, I want to say they're like full-size beds. You have your refrigerator and your freezer. You have a microwave. You have a his and her dual sink. You have 1 restroom, and then both shipmates get their own like closet. The closets do have to be locked, and that's another thing that's a part of your room inspection. That has to be locked. And then your bunk, once you lift it up, it's just like the racks in A school, you're going to lift it up. That bottom part, it has to be locked at all times. So if that's not locked, you will fail inspection. And also towards the end of MAA school, that's when the active duty personnel started to receive their orders, which was pretty exciting for them. But I would say the one thing, if I were to ever go active duty, the one thing that I do admire about the Navy is, in my opinion, I think we have the best bases. Because we have to be surrounded by water, so it's not like you're going to be in the middle of nowhere. So in my opinion, I think everyone in my class got pretty decent orders. And also, just an incentive, the sailor with the highest points does get promoted to the next rank. And that happened to someone in my class. He went from, I think he was there as an E3, and when he graduated, he was an E4. He definitely worked the hardest in our group. I'm pretty sure his overall PT scores and his weapons quals, and I know definitely for sure his test scores were the highest. So he definitely deserved that. So if you are one of those squared away, like gung-ho, I'm gonna try hard type of sailors, that is an excellent incentive to know that you can get a rank boost like that. And I forgot to mention, in the very beginning of MAA school, I want to say it was like day 2, during NMT training, we were asked if anyone wanted to do the swim requalification. It is completely optional. Just take a deep breath. You do not have to do it, because I clarified. I was like, do we have to? Because I've been through enough swimming that can last me a lifetime. Like, I'm done. I passed. Like, I'm going to continue to swim, but I don't want to have to do it if I don't have to. They were like, yeah, you don't have to do it. So it's just something, completely optional. But I do remember that, and I wanted to mention that you will get asked if you wanted to do the swim test requalification. Have fun. The MAA school experience was a lot of fun. It was kind of over like within the blink of an eye. I would say the best part of MAA school, honestly, was getting OC spray. Even though I hated it and I was the worst person in my whole class to go, that's something that I can say that I've done before. Like, that was probably like the most fun part. That, and when we had to like clear the rooms, and that was probably like those were the two, like those were neck and neck. Those were like the two best things about MAA school. It is what you make of it. If this is a rate that you want to do, definitely have fun. Again, ask questions. So if y'all have any questions about the rate, I can answer them to the best of my ability. I'm making this video a little late because I went to A school. I graduated in September 2018, and I've been in the rate ever since as a reservist. So I can answer the questions to the best of my ability. If not, again, leave the questions down in the comment box below, and I'm sure another shipmate will pitch in and answer those questions for y'all. I will do more my next videos will be life as a reservist, now that I am reserved. As a reservist, I'm a 3rd class, and hopefully I will be putting on 2nd class soon with lots and lots of studying and prayer. Again, make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.